Hi, I'm Barb Felty, and I'm going to demonstrate how I have learned to do pisanki, which is the decorating the eggs with wax. It is usually done with a kiska, but my grandmother, who immigrated to the United States right before the First World War, she was a farmer and she didn't have access to anything like that. So she used a pencil and a straight pin. And she melted her wax in a spoon on a hot plate or whatever she had to melt the wax. And she did everything by hand. And I'm going to demonstrate that. And it takes a while to get a hand for it. When you first start to do this, everybody said it looks like chicken scratch, and it usually does. It took me a while. I would watch my mother, and she would make beautiful designs out of this simple pencil and a straight pin. And mine looked like chicken scratch. So when you first start to do this, don't get discouraged. Just keep trying, and eventually you get the steady hand. You just dip your straight pin in the melted wax. You put a dot, that is your center, and then you make a pinwheel. Place your wax down, make a dot, pull it up, and you repeat that all the way around. And you finish your pinwheel. This is traditional design. There are all kinds of designs you can make. This is the traditional design that my mother taught me and her mother taught her. Polish Ukrainian. Got the two ends. Now we'll put it in the middle. When you're doing this, I was always taught to hard boil my eggs. We would use distilled water and some vinegar. Some people blow the yolk out, blow the insides out. That works very well. The thing I don't like about that is the egg tends to float. It's hard to dye. This works very well with the hard-boiled egg. The hard-boiled egg you can keep for years as long as it doesn't crack. It's fine. If it cracks, it's going to smell pretty bad, and you'll have to discard it. When you're doing this, you want to make sure your hands are clean. You don't have any oil on them, because any oil will be picked up by the egg and then it will not dye nicely for you. Could fit one more here. This is beeswax I'm using. It's important to use a very good wax so it stays on the egg. This is pure beeswax we're using. And I just have it on my hot plate here at about 325 to melt the wax and keep it hot but not burn it. There. And we have the design, 3 pinwheels and 1 on each end. Now we can dye this. Okay. The dyes I'm using here are the Pisanki dyes. You can buy these online, or you can use pause dyes or food coloring. Now where I would caution you with the Pisanki dyes, if you're working with children, these are permanent dyes. They will dye your table, they will dye anything it spills on. So if you're working with children, especially young children, it may be better to use the pause dyes, which are lighter in color, or the food coloring. At least you won't end up with a dyed table. And I always cover with paper. We're going to put it in. The Pisanki dyes dye very quickly. You can put them in quickly like this and pull them out, or you can leave them in and get a darker color. You know, it's whatever you prefer. You can see our design now. And how the design comes out. You can put all kinds of designs. It's up to you. This is a traditional design. There are several other traditional designs I do. But also you get creative and make your own designs. And some of them come out surprisingly nice. You can do two to three colors. This is the white with the pink. You can leave spaces in your dye, and you can leave spaces in your dye and let this dry, put more wax on it, and then dye it again in a different color, and you'll have a 2 or 3 colors on your egg. There. And take it out and dry it. Just pat it dry very carefully. Don't rub, just pat it. And then you let it dry. I'll usually put it in a rack over here and let it dry. And there's your finished egg. These are some designs that I've done over the years. And this one, I put the wax on the white egg and then I dyed it blue. And then after it all dried, I took the wax off. This egg, I put the wax on the white egg, made the design, dyed it red. After the red dried, I put the wax on the red. Then I put it in the green. When I took all the wax off, the whole design, I had the white, the red, and the final background was green. This egg, I dyed the whole egg yellow first. Didn't put any white on it at all. And I made my design. This is kind of a neat design. And I put it in red. When it dried and I took all the wax off, I had the yellow design on the red egg. So you can be very creative. You can just keep going. It's very creative. You can this design, is different. You can make up all kinds of designs. Be very creative.